Behind me is a house designed and built by an award-winning architect, but you may know him better as one of the 19th century's most famous writers. Find out who made this amazing career change and where I am in just a moment.
On today's show, we're helping a creative couple buy their very first property together.
I like this room.
You sound surprised.
And if all goes well, we could be opening the door to a completely new career.
Oh my goodness. Look
brilliant.
at that.
Today we're in Dorset, and this is Maxgate, the house designed and built by Thomas Hardy. Now Hardy was always passionate about architecture, working for a local firm of architects at the age of 16 and completing his studies at King's College in London. But Dorset was never far from his thoughts, and he moved back here in the 1880s, where, on the back of the successes of Jude the Obscure, he's able to build this glorious Victorian villa, where he lived for the next 40 years. And as you're about to see, there's plenty of reasons why you too could fall in love with this beautiful county.
Taking a prime position on England's southern coast, Dorset is bordered by the counties of Devon, Somerset, Wiltshire and Hampshire. There are no motorways or cities, so it's a truly rural county with a host of villages that have been seemingly plucked from the pages of a storybook. Travel from north to south through the patchwork of undulating fields, and the reward is a breathtaking view across 95 miles of Jurassic coastline, featuring the spectacular turquoise waters of Lulworth Cove and the iconic limestone arch of Durdle Door, 140 million years in the making. Today, the town of Bridport has made a name for itself as a cultural mecca. The streets are lined with over 1,000 listed buildings, featuring regular antiques markets, food fairs and a vibrant art scene. Where better to get inspired than this fascinating and peaceful county? A place, in the words of Thomas Hardy, far from the madding crowd.
Now, all that beauty and history obviously comes at a price. The average cost of a detached house here in Dorset is around £315,000. That's around £60,000 above the national figure. But do remember, this also includes exclusive areas like sandbanks in Poole, where prices of houses can hit the millions. Now, with the exception of Wimborne, Sherborne and Blandford Forum, the general rule of thumb here in Dorset is the further north you go, the more property you'll get for your budget. And looking around, there's plenty of architectural gems to please the eye.
Dorset is full of old stone-built farmhouses, ranging from around £650,000 to about £800,000 for a listed four-bedroom home in the most favoured villages. The coastal resort of Lyme Regis has some great examples of Georgian architecture from the 18th century. But looking out across swathes of blue sea comes at a price. A simple one-bed flat on the waterfront could cost upwards of £275,000. But if it's the traditional rural life you're hankering after, an asking price starting at around £400,000 would buy you a three-bedroom picture postcard cottage made from local Portland stone.
So with such a wide variety of architectural styles to choose from, there's certainly rich pickings for today's buyers. Let's meet them.
Self-employed builder Ben and his partner Kathy, who works as a nurse, have been together for 2 years, and home is temporarily Kathy's two-bedroom flat in Woking, Surrey. It's fair to say that house hunting occupies a unique place in their hearts, because it was a property search that first brought them together.
I went over to look at a property that Ben had on the market. I really liked it, and I went back for a second viewing, and Ben was there at the viewing, and I still really, really like the flat, but I sort of really like Ben more.
So it was passion across the property particulars, and though this move is about finding the perfect love nest, at the heart of the decision is a desire to be closer to Ben's youngest daughter, Carmen.
My 12-year-old daughter has recently started school in Bournemouth, and there are times that we will spend in excess of 10 hours a weekend in the car, and also it's not great for Carmen. So the idea is a radius of 45-minute drive from Bournemouth.
Their respective building and nursing skills are transferable for a move anywhere, but by freeing up time, the aim is to create new business opportunities.
In the past, I used to import furniture and partially design some of the furniture from Thailand. It'd be brilliant to have an outbuilding that we can tinker and build prototypes and generally be mad scientists.
To be able to work on the inventions and have outside space would be absolutely fantastic.
And with new ventures and inventions at the forefront of their minds, it's dictating the type of property they're after.
I think the three absolute must-haves are...
Character.
Yeah.
Outside space with potential either to put outbuildings or with buildings already there. And the third thing was open fire.
Yeah.
And while the fire could be keeping them warm, their shared passion for food and friends could be helping them relax.
We'd like a nice big kitchen. We do a lot of cooking, and Ben's really, really great in the kitchen. I think living in the country will change our lives in that it'll give us a lot more space. It'll give us the facility to entertain friends, which is really important to both of us.
Ben has already sold his flat and Kathy's is currently on the market, so our buyers have a clear idea of their finances for this dynamic Dorset move.
The budget for the new property is £500,000.
Ben and Kathy have requested a location within a strict radius of 45 minutes from Bournemouth. So we'll be concentrating our property hunt in the beautiful villages in the northern half of the county, steering well clear of the coast to get the most for their money. I met up with them both on Dorset soil to get better acquainted.
Now, I know you're looking for a more rural existence, if you like. Why have you chosen Dorset as a location?
We've chosen Dorset. Both of us have got family in this area. We're looking for property, a little bit more space. We want to sort of be more out in the country and possibly a slight change of lifestyle, business.
Now, you mentioned a business opportunity. Talk me through that, Ben.
Part of the idea is to buy a property that has space, that we can increase that space and add to the capital value of that.
You being a builder, I suppose, that comes in handy.
Hopefully might help somewhere along the line.
Okay.
And then we have plenty of other ideas, which again, with a bit of space to work in, that we can carry those through.
So it might not just be a home, it might be a home and potential business opportunity. How big is this character property in your mind's eye?
I think both of us have been looking along the lines of sort of three bedrooms, 3 possibly 4 bedrooms.
Family living nearby to come and stay with you, I suppose.
Yes, definitely, and entertaining.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
And obviously the outside space, a bit of garden.
Are you likely to agree on everything that you see?
I think
I'll ask that for you. Perhaps no. I don't know.
There will be a few things, I'm sure, which will.
But mostly we do agree on the space and the big things. Exactly.
Okay. Well, let's find out, shall we?
Okay.
Excellent.
Let's go.
For a top budget of £500,000, Ben and Kathy are after a detached, 3-bedroom character home with space for entertaining, a large kitchen and an open fire. They'd also like a good-sized garden with an outbuilding or workshop. But more than anything, they want to find something with potential both inside and out. We've got a great mix of homes to show our buyers, but of course I won't be revealing the price until they've had a guess first. As ever, Last Orders finds us at the mystery property, and this home might have a lot more taps than they could ever have imagined. Our first destination is Compton Abbas, a 45-minute drive from Bournemouth. Meaning village in a narrow valley, Compton Abbas is a peaceful rural hamlet dotted with thatched cottages and farmhouses all wrapped up in lush countryside. Ben and Kathy are looking for a house with bags of character, and our first property doesn't fall short. Accessed through a gate on a quiet lane, the entire grounds lie to the front of the cottage, taking full advantage of the setting with spectacular views across the hills and valleys.
Here we go.
Lovely, really pretty exterior. Nice bit of thatch.
There's an interesting spectrum of time here, if you like.
Yes.
That is 1750,
Okay.
1850, 1980. They've managed to use some decent stone, but although there's so much time between all these different parts of the construction, I really like it. It ties in quite well, doesn't it?
First impressions are good.
Is it the sort of character that you're after, do you think, Ben?
It's getting there, yeah. Not so sure about the dormers.
Right, the dorm, I mean, that's the whole thing. Because it's such an old cottage, the dormers, I think, are necessary.
To give it some height in the room.
To get you the bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yes. OK, now, let's look inside.
Excellent.
Down these stairs leads you straight into your main living area.
Nice, this is a cosy little room. Yeah,
Decent fireplace.
really nice fireplace.
I mean, this is the 1750 part of the cottage, and I thought it was quite a grand fireplace
Yeah,
for
it
a
is.
small cottage like that.
It's cosy.
Cosy can mean bad news, can't it?
Oh, can't it? Oh,
But I'm not putting words in your mouth, but it's cosy, you being polite about a small room.
claustrophobic cosy though, is it? Do you think?
no, I reckon when you get the fire going and lots of heat going
It's a
through
big
the
fire,
room,
isn't it?
yeah.
Window is a very basic 1980s style.
Yeah. So what do you want to
style.
do? Have a quick look at it. What would you want to do to that? Just
Yeah, take it out.
take it out
definitely.
completely
Put in a nice oak window.
and not paint it.
And not paint it, no, because to me that doesn't really match in.
It
Yeah.
sounds cosmetic. I mean, even to a builder, sticking a new window frame's cosmetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
very
things
easy.
that can easily be changed, aren't they?
OK, this is good. Is it good?
Excellent.
Excellent.
It is good, yes,
Good.
it's cosy.
Let's keep going.
Good stuff.
Right then, this wood floor continues. What do you think of this kitchen area first?
I'm not massively impressed, I have to say, on the kitchen area. But that's probably, again, a cosmetic thing with the units.
But definitely these get much more of a flow if you just carry it straight through and then sweep it round to a really nice island unit. And actually, I would suggest bring the cooking area out to the island
Yes,
or
yeah.
It's a
peninsula.
good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
to a lot of people, putting a new kitchen is a major thing, but to an expert builder, it's everyday life, I suppose. But I think this room comes into its own when you consider what it has here. I mean, you've got amazing patio. This is west facing as well, so the sun sets over there.
Oh, nice. I mean, I really like the wood effect that they've got here and along the window ledges. But all in all, it's a nice big kitchen.
Is this the sort of space that you could work with then?
We always feel that we would like to stamp our ideas and tastes on a place because it very, very rarely fully transfers.
Oh, right, so I shouldn't be downhearted of
No.
what you're saying to me.
Not at all.
The utility and cloakroom are back on the other side of the house, next to the entrance hall, where the stairs lead up to the bedrooms. There are 4 in total, 1 double bedroom in the oldest part of the house, and 2 smaller ones under the thatched roof adjacent to the family bathroom. Then, the largest bedroom is across in the more modern wing.
Now, the master bedroom sits right at the end of this property with good reason. You've got those 2 wonderful views.
That is a beautiful view.
Yeah, lovely view.
I like this room.
You sound surprised.
Actually. Voice went up a couple of octaves.
Yeah.
Don't give away. Yes, I like the
Very airy.
arches.
Love the height. Hasn't quite got the walk-in wardrobe that you were hoping for.
Absolutely.
Walk-in wardrobe?
Am I springing that one on you?
Yes, a little bit. It's a worry. Well, let me counter your walk-in wardrobe with the fact that we've got 4 bedrooms up here.
Ah.
You said minimum
Yes.
3, so you might have a dressing area, if you like, a dressing room.
I'm liking the sound of that.
For an old set of cottages, you do have a decent amount of upstairs space,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, absolutely, definitely. And the view is beautiful.
Well, I think we should go and have a good look at that view because there's a few aspects outside I'd like to chat to you about.
Okay.
Start thinking about price as well.
Back downstairs to the front of the house is the access to the garden, which gently slopes over 3 lawn terraces. And apart from the truly uplifting views, a real highlight comes in the form of a 1-bedroom timber annex, which could make for a great workshop.
So all in all, not a bad package this, I didn't think.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think this place is worth? How much is it on the market for?
I'm going in at a price of about 460,000.
Okay.
I'm going to go a tad under there, actually. I'm going to go 450.
Right. This place is on the market, has been for, well, around a month. I'd offer around 499,950.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
So it's slightly above what you were thinking.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's an asking price, but that's maybe something to bear in mind for the other properties we're going to have a look at as much as anything else.
Yes, yeah.
Benchmark.
Yeah. Why don't you guys go back into the house, you know, see if it will work for you guys with some changes, if you like.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'll meet you back outside here in 10 or 15 minutes.
Excellent.
Good stuff.
I'll catch up with you in a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Just £50 under their maximum budget, the first property is an extended detached period cottage with an organic history spanning over 200 years. There's an open fireplace in the sitting room and a large kitchen diner, perfect for entertaining, with countryside views that pour into the room. Upstairs offers 4 bedrooms, one more than our buyers asked for, and the garden benefits from an annex room which they could use as their workshop.
Oh, this is a cute room. Could you almost put a bathroom and do an extra?
I think it'd be... Well, you could, actually. Almost too big. I actually love the exposed stonework here.
Yes. This is a really nice little room. The frontage of the house, it seems to come in sections, and the older section I really liked, but I wasn't quite so keen on the bit that goes to the right, which is the extension.
I like the size of the sitting room, and then really good kitchen dining area. With a few cosmetic changes, I could envisage Kathy and I living here, so food for thought.
All done inside?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, the weather's on the turn, so let's get in the car.
Okay, good idea.
Dorset spreads itself over some 1,000 square miles, of which 10% is made up of woodland, both ancient and modern. And these 28,000 hectares of woodland are important for the county's wildlife, landscape and economy. Keen to develop their interest in craft work when they moved to Dorset, earlier in the week we sent Ben and Kathy to a coppice wood in Holditch to test their design skills with master woodworker Guy Mallins.
Good to meet you. Yeah, good. Come on. Now we're in the woodland workshop. We're going to make a spatula using some ash, which we've sourced locally from the woods. It's an ash tree that fell down in the storm last week. So we're using unseasoned wood, which is softer and much easier to work.
Green woodworking is completely man-powered using just simple hand tools. The first part of the process, called cleaving, splits the log with a large wooden mallet called a beetle, which is hit against a metal froe. The split follows the grain to get the maximum strength from the wood.
A moment of truth. Let's see what we've got. That's it, it's gone.
Done.
Once the bark has been removed from the split sections of wood, it's up to the workshop to shape them.
OK, so we've got our blank, and we're going to use the shaving horse to make it into a plank that we can then draw on for our spoke shave.
Right.
Now, the shaving horse is like the old version of a Black & Decker workmate. It's for gripping your wood, and it's a very, very efficient way of gripping your wood.
So, with a straight back and elbows in, time for our buyers to have a go.
So remember, nice, long shavings.
Once the wood has been shaved to the desired thickness, the design is drawn on. And after a demonstration from Guy, it's back to the shaving horse to create the spatula shape.
That's looking really nice now.
The final stage is some whittling to refine it, and then the tool is complete.
Let's have a look.
One spatula.
One fantastic spatula. Well done. That's great.
Thank you very much. Ta-da!
With a handmade utensil from their day in the Dorset woodland, it's back to the hunt to find the perfect kitchen in which to use it. For our second stop today, we're actually venturing out of Dorset and crossing the county border to the most westerly village in Hampshire called Martin. But travelling time to Bournemouth is still within a 45-minute drive. Lying in an area of outstanding natural beauty, Martin is a very quiet village, home to many houses of architectural delight. The streets are decorated with immaculate thatched cottages and picturesque timber-framed farmhouses, some of which date back to the 15th century. Amenities include a not-for-profit community shop run entirely by volunteers and offering a free delivery to all village residents. Despite the rain, it's clear to see that there's a lot of pride in the village, and our second property is no exception. But will it meet Ben and Kathy's expectations?
How about this for a character cottage?
That is really pretty.
It's very
Character bursting
clean,
out, I think.
crisp.
Thatched cottages and houses frighten some people off, and other people fall in love with them.
Right.
I quite like that one because it's quite high off the front of the house. It doesn't sort of come down.
Impose down
No,
too much,
exactly,
yeah.
good word.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's fairly new. It's less than a year old.
Ah.
According to the thatcher, it's a re-thatch. You'd hope to get maybe around 25 years out of this.
It looks quite petite, but I'm hoping it's a bit of a TARDIS.
Let's talk about that inside. Out of this weather. Right then,
Yeah.
what are we thinking?
Oh, I like it actually.
Very characterful.
Yeah.
Well, character's what you asked for.
Yes, I think this has got lots. The beams are lovely.
Quite a farmhouse type kitchen.
Yeah, really nice range.
It was built in the mid-17th century with a mid-18th century extension. We are standing in that.
it.
Yeah.
This is the external original
You
wall
got it.
here.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. No, it's lovely.
Good. All right. Next door is your living room. Let me just lead you there. Now this, I'm hoping if you like character, this is the kind of character you like.
This is a
It's
lovely
lovely.
room. Really
Yeah.
lovely room. Beams are great.
Oh, fabulous acid.
That is really, really good, isn't it? Because we've often said, haven't we, about...
Yeah.
you know,
It's a funny
really
little
big
thing,
overhang.
actually. There's an old oven. It's an old Victorian boot they found when they were doing the place up. There are some recent, additions.
But it's a beautiful shaped room.
Well, there's so much to it. It'll take a lot of thinking about how you would configure it, and also to appreciate a lot of the history that's here, or the nooks and crannies that you'll probably even find
Yes.
months later.
Months later, yeah.
With all the exposed beams and history, the sitting room would make a really characterful space to entertain. Upstairs there's a family bathroom and 3 bedrooms, including a pretty double, currently kitted out for a young child, and a cosy single.
This is your master.
Okay.
This is a lovely room. Like the flow, the way the ceilings go, and the chimney breast there.
I mean, this is, again, it's just bags and bags of character, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, loads. Yeah, it's a beautiful room.
Is it big enough? That's the big question.
I think it's what I would expect in this type of property.
OK.
Ben and Kathy seem suitably intrigued, though they're not giving away too much just yet. Every room in this cottage has been beautifully finished. Back downstairs, there's a utility room, complete with butler-style sink, and a small garden room which overlooks the back. Immediately to the rear is a paved patio joined by the rest of the garden, which is mainly laid to lawn and enclosed by hedges. For our innovative duo, there's also an outbuilding in the form of a large summer house, which could easily double as a studio for our buyers to work on their various creations.
Now, the weather isn't helping, but I think this is a much more usable garden than the first property.
Yeah, I really like the garden, actually. Yeah, it's bigger than I thought from the front.
How much do you think this property's on the market for?
Oh, shall I go first?
You go first.
I'm going to say 445.
445. OK, cheaper than the first one.
Yeah, 3 bedrooms. I'm going to go a bit lower than that, actually. So I'm going to go 430.
Right. This is getting worse, because this property's on the market at 495.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Right. Some of that might be partly due to the fact that it's in Hampshire, and it's got good access to the coast and whatever, and it's in the village. But look, go back into the house, have a good look around.
Right.
You know, this is the last thing we're going to do today.
Yeah.
So take your time. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Just shy of their maximum budget of £495,000, this second property is a homely 3-bedroom thatched cottage in a beautiful Hampshire village. Brimming with character features, it has a farmhouse-style kitchen diner, as well as an original inglenook fireplace in the sitting room. And in the well-maintained garden sits a small timber-frame studio.
The property looked really tidy, lovely garden, and generally really positive. Oh, this is,
Oh, this is cool.
yeah, really cool. And a little burner.
Yeah, office, stroke studio, little workbench over there for your curtain making and other things. Living room, absolutely beautiful. That is a stunning fireplace. Love it. Just feel it is a little bit small for the lack of space to grow into.
Here they are. All done?
Yes,
We are all done, yeah.
Great.
Were you waiting inside for it to stop raining?
Not as stupid as I look.
No, quite. Well, that's all done today. Good day?
Lovely
Really
day.
good day.
Really good
Yeah,
day.
Great.
really positive.
OK, let's go.
As the day draws to a close, it gives our buyers a chance to mull over their property search so far. Woking-based Ben and Kathy have set their sights on a move to the Dorset countryside to be closer to Ben's daughter. They're after a property with both character and potential, and so far we've shown them 2 different options, neither of which has completely lit their entrepreneurial fires. But still to come, the mystery house leaves them lost for words. And I'll be discovering the delights of an unusual Dorset delicacy.
Well, Ben and Kathy reckon they wanted a character property. And both of the houses yesterday delivered that in droves with wonderful period features both inside and out. Now today, well, the weather's pretty much the same, and we're off to see the mystery house. And as I'm sure you'll all expect, it's going to be something very different. This one certainly is. It's not actually a house. We're off to the mystery house. Now, you know what's coming, don't you? Or do you? What are you expecting it to be?
A huge rambling shack of some sort.
Yes, yes, sort of something that we've really got to put our backs into.
No, I think that's what you're hoping it to be. You especially, Ben. There's going to be some effort required at this place.
Okay, yeah, all on for a bit of effort.
Yeah.
Oh,
And possibly a bit of vision.
Vision, yeah. You'll need vision.
The mystery house is our final stop, and we're heading into the very heart of Dorset, where we're destined for the village of Buckland Newton. However, this takes us 15 minutes out of our buyer's comfort zone, being an hour's drive from Ben's daughter in Bournemouth. Surrounded by attractive countryside, Buckland Newton has a few small businesses, including an old chapel which has been converted into the village store and post office, selling fresh produce and other essentials. And there's a close-knit community here, most of whom are rather familiar with the mystery property.
Now, I know you had a few guesses in the car as to what the mystery property might be.
right.
You see now,
Ah.
it's a pub.
Oh, right.
The Gaggle of
Gaggle of geese. Right.
Yeah.
It's the only pub in the village. So you've got a captive audience.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, but you also got a good reputation for food and drink, which we'll learn about a bit more later.
Oh.
All right, what's your
Great.
thoughts?
Excellent.
Yeah, really nice looking from the outside.
No, you've mentioned the idea of wanting to do a business.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a business you would definitely be able to run together.
Yeah.
Right, you happy?
Happy.
Yeah, very.
Let's go.
You,
Let's go
I
and
mean,
have a
you're very much you're beaming on this one more than even the other 2 properties.
Yeah, because it's different, and I can immediately see, the frontage, great, but
There's work to be done.
There's work to be done. I can
But
see
any work
immediately.
you do would improve this,
Yeah,
not only as
exactly.
a building, but as a business for you guys. Smiles all round on the outside, and the best is still to come.
In we come. I'll adopt my usual position at the bar.
Propping up. Oh, initial feeling really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bar shape good, open fire, always good.
Yeah. Almost like a sort of, you'd sit for hours and have coffee and alcohol
Yeah.
all afternoon.
If you like it and it feels customer friendly, customers will like it.
Yeah.
And they do.
Potentially get other people in.
This pub turns over around £245,000 a year.
Right.
So it's a good, modest turnover. There's plenty of potential there, which you'll see as you walk around, but
Yes.
you've got a good basis to start from here. Well, let's keep looking through the trading areas.
Okay.
Really decent-sized bar servery. They have a whole range of beers, loads of guest ales as well. Now, the dry trading areas, if you like, are still plentiful. Restaurant area there, but also you've got double doors that open out onto, you like this,
Hey. Oh, my goodness. Look
brilliant.
at that. God,
Little Skittles.
I bet
Yeah.
that gets some people in.
the split between food and drink, or wet and dry, as we say in the trade, is 50-50, which is quite rare, which means you've got a continuous flow of drinkers, which is easier trade. And a lot of that is because you've got this fantastic Skittle Alley with loads of teams. You've got a winter league that plays here.
Oh, okay.
As it's the only pub in the village, this is the village function area.
Yes.
Off the dining area is a small games room, and the ground floor is also home to the food preparation area, which is more of an industrial catering zone than rustic country kitchen. But this property isn't just about the business, so it's time to take a look at the living accommodation. The present landlords use just 2 of the bedrooms up on the first floor for their family, but there are 4 double bedrooms and 2 bathrooms in total, which are currently split into owners' and staff quarters either side of the landing. We're going to take a look at the owner's master bedroom.
What do you think about living above your business premises in not such huge quarters?
I think it's something that at the start. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good. Go on.
We'll be prepared to do because you just throw yourself at it and sort of make
Hands-on,
make
get
the
in there.
compromises and get on. And then all the sort of easier bit when it all settles down, the changes have sort of been coming in, then you sort of relax back and maybe change things in the
I couldn't agree
upstairs
more.
area a
Yeah,
bit.
get in here, get bedded in, see what change you'd like to make. Good. Well, look, I'm going to let you have a good look around this place because there's lots to
yes,
see.
lovely.
So I'm sure you want to come straight back up here after we look outside.
Yes,
Great.
love to.
But you'd be pleased to hear there's lots to see outside.
Okay.
Follow me.
Despite the somewhat limited living quarters, it's encouraging that Ben and Kathy seem to be staying on track with the idea of a publican's life. And when they're not serving the happy locals propping up the bar, they can sit outside and enjoy the beer garden. But that's not all when it comes to the land here.
So, outside space,
Wow, there's a lot of it.
4.5 acres.
Oh, goodness.
The members of the public, your customers, can come here. Now look, it's like a menagerie here. You've got geese, chickens, goats, a pony. How much do you think this country pub is on the market for? Tuffy, I know.
I'm gonna say somewhere in the region of 700,000.
Okay,
Oh, I'm going to go less, but I'm going to go 650.
okay. You should have gone with your first bet. It's 325.
Freehold?
Freehold.
That's a good face. Hang on.
I think even those geese are included. £325,000 for the freehold of this pub as a going concern, turning over about £245,000 a year with 4.5 acres of land. Just come on the market.
I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless.
Lots to think about.
Yep.
When you go back inside the pub, it's a working pub, so you might be into customers there. Maybe have a chin wag with them.
Yeah.
Go back inside and have a look around, yeah. I love showing people businesses, it's no secret. But when you maybe realise some people's dreams like that, and at such a competitive price, it's a wonderful job, and I think I've given them something to really think about.
Hugely under budget at £325,000, the mystery proposition combines business and home in the form of a lively village pub. It has a cosy lounge bar, a dining area for 70 covers and a skittle alley, as well as extensive living quarters. And outside, the large acreage makes the potential here endless. But are they willing to live an extra 15 minutes drive further away from Ben's daughter?
When Jonnie said it was 325, I think, I was completely taken aback, because it just seemed that you would get so much for your money. A business, living accommodation, lots and lots of outside space. It's fantastic.
The outside space, I mean, it is absolutely fantastic, and incorporated more into the business. Your functions, I think there's a huge demand for rural, good wedding venues.
I think your idea of having it as sort of for weddings and
Great.
Parties and it's just a fantastic idea, because there's so much space.
Yeah, you could just so incorporate this brilliantly into the business and make it a real attraction.
So that was a mystery property with a difference.
Oh, it certainly was. Took me by surprise.
Something to think about.
A lot to think about.
Good, let's have a lot.
to think about.
Almost 3/4 of Dorset's countryside is used for agriculture, producing some of the finest food in the land. But in a commercial farm near Wimborne, a mere 37 square metres are dedicated to a new wave of farming, not normally associated with British cuisine. During the week, I went to meet Tony Walker, who is one of the UK's leading suppliers of gastropods. That's snails to you and me. The farm is actually a huge polytunnel where the snails are bred and kept in a protected, heated environment.
Well, first off, Tony.
Yep.
This isn't what I expected to see. I don't know why, but I was almost expecting to see maybe something resembling a mushroom farm, but just loads of snails everywhere and soil everywhere. But this is immaculate. This is clean, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it has to be.
Does it?
It has to be, yeah, for the standards that we need to keep up.
Oh, OK.
Of the hygiene side of things.
So they're all in these boxes. How many have you got here?
In this section here, 20,000.
Each box houses 100 snails, so it's possible to manage vast numbers using just a fraction of the energy needed to produce other meat, making the mollusk an economical and sustainable product to farm. The climate in this country isn't suited to outdoor snail farming using natural vegetation. But the snails here are regularly washed and fed every day, with a mix of chalk and high-protein grain to keep them clean.
So what are these? They're huge.
Yeah, these are our breeding snails. These are roughly about 6 months old.
How often do they breed?
All they need to do is breed once.
Right.
They can mate once, and then that's it. They can then just reproduce eggs every 2 weeks.
There are over 80 different species of land snail in the UK, and this farm breeds a common garden variety called Helix aspersa maxima. The snails are distributed to a wide range of customers, including Michelin star restaurants. I followed the trail, pardon the pun, just 50 miles away to a hotel in Bedminster to sample chef Steve Peasley's speciality of Palmer's snail rarebit.
Look at that. I want to try it with a bit of bacon as well. The sauce. Magic mouthful. I forgot there were snails. That's beautiful.
it, I mean-
And then they come into their own halfway through the mouthful. Excuse me. Where a mushroom is defeated, then the snail comes out and you feel that really nice meaty texture. Almost like a shellfish.
Yeah,
Oh, I just love that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And after savouring some of Dorset's gourmet slow food, let's pick up the pace and get back on track.
Well, that's hopefully something to tempt your taste buds. Time to catch up with today's buyers and see if they've been tempted with any of the properties that I've shown them. So how have you found this whole process of looking for properties over in Dorset?
It's very enjoyable, really, isn't it?
Enjoyable and sort of interesting. I think sort of focused our minds a lot as well.
Now, right at the top of your shopping list was character. And the first 2 properties certainly gave you that. What do you think of the first house?
Externally, a bit bitty, not really flowing, the periods to period to period.
I left there thinking they liked aspects of it, but they didn't like it all enough to go for it.
No, definitely
I
not.
think that's
Right.
fairly summing it up.
So in the afternoon, we went to another character property, and you seemed to both react really well inside
Yes.
and outside.
Yes.
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
That thatch put some people off, but you loved it, didn't you?
Oh, the thatch was lovely because it was tidy, and as you said, it was new, and it made the whole cottage just look really sort of cosy and, as you said, bags of character. So internally, externally, I think you could just move into that house and do very little and be very comfortable there.
So even though it was immaculate inside, had lots of wonderful period features in there, it was too finished. There wasn't much scope.
Yeah, well, there was, no scope and too finished.
Okay. But if you wanted something that wasn't finished and you wanted scope, it kind of played into the hands of the mystery property perfectly. Because today, there's plenty of work to be done running a pub.
Loads.
Absolutely.
And refurbishing a pub.
And refurbing it, yeah.
First impressions, generally very good, actually.
Yes, yeah, really good bar area, and possibly get in some tables, chairs, make the dining area a little bit wider at the front.
Slightly informal dining at the front, and then
yeah.
more formal dining
Towards the
at
back.
the rear.
So when I left you there to have a look around the pub, it sounds like you did a bit of planning in there.
Oh, yes, we were. We
Yeah,
had
we
it all
weren't
mapped out.
wasting our time.
Well, okay. I take it that's your favourite.
Yes.
It's definitely the favourite,
Yeah.
but sadly, the furthest northwest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was a gamble there. It's just too far away.
Yeah,
Oh, that is a shame.
genuinely,
Yeah.
Johnny, if that was 15 minutes south,
Yeah.
then we would be putting an offer in tomorrow. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Oh, I know,
absolutely.
sorry, that's a bit of a strong thing to but, potentially. Is that all right?
Yes.
Speaking
Is
of the
it-
boss, you
Yeah.
now concur. Good. Do please let us know how you get on, because I'd be very interested to see what kind of business you eventually buy and where.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you very much.
I've really enjoyed these past few days, so thank you very much for your
And we
patience.
have
and
a
for your
lot.
candour as well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Whilst Ben and Cathy haven't opted for any of the properties we've shown them, I think they've come on leaps and bounds in their search for an escape to the country here. They're not looking for a house anymore. I think they're really focused on finding a business they can both run together. And maybe, just maybe, we've unearthed one of Dorset's new landlord and landlady pairings for a pub here. Who knows? See you next time.
It turned out that the mystery property was too tempting a proposition, and Ben and Cathy did go back for a second viewing. But after some serious consideration, they decided that running a pub wasn't the right venture for them. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.